Well, good evening everyone and welcome to webinar number 9. I'm sure that you've all hopefully noticed by now I was a little bit thick today. Today I panicked. I hadn't had a chance to look, and I went into the members area and I looked and I was like, well, hey, all the past 8 webinar videos are there. Tremendous. And I went and looked and it was like, yep, the Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp stuff's there. Brilliant. That's been mentioned a lot during webinars, stuff that you can look at in there that will also help you. And then I went to look in the sort of resources folder, I forgot what it's called now, and I looked and I was like, oh, nothing here. Where's the stuff that links to each webinar? Everyone got the email, like I did, saying that Rob was going to go through things one by one and put stuff up. So I rang Rob up in a panic and basically discovered that I'm a complete idiot because I never took the time to click on each of the individual video modules to discover that underneath the video are the download links to the stuff that's relevant, that's mentioned in that particular webinar video. So if any of you have sort of made the same boo-boo as me, the stuff that goes with the webinars is underneath the particular video when you go in to watch it. What a fool I felt when I found that out. But the good news of that is that pretty much 95% of the stuff's up there now. There is 1 or 2 things that Rob's still going to pop up, but they're actually not really going to be of much relevance to you until after tonight's webinar anyway. And then, as previously mentioned, starting from next week, each week there will be a new traffic driving short video giving you ideas how to get more traffic to your site and stuff. So there will be stuff, you know, added as we go along, so it'll be worth you checking in sort of once every 7 days anyway, just to see what has newly been added. So we are kind of drawing things to a close, bringing all the loose ends together. We're hopefully going to get some feedback off you guys as well during this particular webinar in terms of how you've managed to catch up, where you're up to in the stage of things and what have you. But before we can kind of get down to that, we need to welcome the person with the know-how who's been sharing it with us. So please welcome Mr. Robert Temple.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Buck Petrie says there's no sound. Hopefully his computer is working now. Everyone else seems to be able to hear us as people are replying, so that's cool. Keith says he had... Oh, Buck has his sound back as well. Keith said he had the same thought that you did, Jonathan. Maybe I'm the idiot. Maybe I've put stuff in the wrong place. I'll put it in both places and then we'll be fine. Arjan said the downloads are only there for the first lesson. Yeah, pretty much what was going on was I went through each of the days, Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, Module 4, Module 5, all the way up to Module 8 over the last 2 weeks. Basically, what I realised is that the only training videos that actually needed adding were the ones about the Google keyword research tools and the trends tool, which go on day 1. I need to add the video about how to upload your websites, but I couldn't work out which module that was meant to go in. I just forgot. So I need to go back over it and find that. So I'll be adding that in tomorrow. The only other thing apart from that is the mini site template, which I have had a dramatic update on that, in that I've had it rebuilt to be a little bit more fill in the blanks for you. Originally it was quite fill in the blanks anyway. Most of it was there and you just had to go through and fill in the relevant details. But I've been working with the guy that does all of my graphic design recently and had a bunch of other stuff made for it, which will make it it'll make it quicker for you to implement. So I've just got that back and I'll be uploading that tomorrow as well. Apart from that, that's pretty much it. The only other thing that would be missing are if I've ever referred to a website, I will be adding links to those websites as well. But apart from that, as far as I could see, pretty much everything must be there. Obviously, I have gone through over, like, you know, probably about 15 hours of video training, so I may have missed stuff because there will be times when my eyes glazed over, and I may have just missed stuff because I do bore myself sometimes. So anything that I do miss will be fine. Oh, Arjan, I knew there was something. I promised I'd add the PowerPoints. Hang on, I'll just write it down. Okay, I'll add those tomorrow because that's a really quick job. Not a problem, Arjan.
Have you written that down?
Yeah. I'll add you the PowerPoints, but I think everything else is done. Keith says he's answered that. The first webinar's missing? No, that should definitely be there. Yes, I will add the templates directly into the resources section. That way you don't need to look for it. Number 0. Oh, you mean the pitch webinar? To be honest, we are going to be, when we relaunch this program to people who are not you lot, when we relaunch it in a few weeks' time, we're going to be in that webinar live again. The difference is we've got a lot more knowledge about what to go in there. I don't know whether we should wait until we put that one in, or whether we, in truth, you won't learn anything from that that's not in this program, obviously, but whether we should put that one in or the one we did originally.
Put the original one in
for now,
because it's there.
Okay.
And when we've done the one-off live one in a few weeks, then put that one in as well. Correct, okay. Dave? Yeah, both.
2 seconds.
Exactly.
I'm just making a note of this. So I need to put the PowerPoints for all 8 webinars. There isn't a PowerPoint for tonight, so that's irrelevant. I need to upload the template, which will go into the resources section. Both pitch webinars, although I've only got one at the minute because the next one hasn't happened yet. And the recording of tonight.
And just put a note that the stuff that you have put underneath videos
put in this
might be worth, not instead of, as well as having them in the resources section as well.
Okay.
So that people who notice them under the video, great, but otherwise, nods like me, and thank you, Keith, for making me feel better, not being the only one to have made that boo-boo. That way, if it's in both, and Dave did the same, oh great, I don't feel as bad then.
Oh, well,
if it's in both places,
it's
that way definitely people will find it.
Okay. Well, yeah. Apologies for the misunderstanding there, folks. I assumed it would be easier if you've just watched through the training webinar and you can download everything you need from directly underneath it rather than digging around in the resources to try and find it. I figured that would have made more sense. But obviously that's my error. Never mind. I've made a list of all the things I need to get done. So, welcome then, officially, to the final webinar of Passive Hypnosis Profits. Now, literally just before we started this call, Jonathan and I sat down. We haven't planned a presentation here because there's not really anything else to teach you, particularly other than what's going to be covered in the videos. So we kind of haven't planned a presentation. We literally just sat down a little while ago and spoke about, right, what do we need to cover tonight? And literally we kind of thought, oh crap, we've more or less covered everything. So what I wanted to do really was to show you the sort of finished template, if you like, with regards to the the finished website, as it were, that we finished for our actual simple quitting system program. The other thing that I'm going to be giving you, and I'm just going to make a quick note of this as well, is what we call a reseller kit. Because as you will probably remember, as part of this program, you're actually going to get complete resale rights on the finished product that we've made. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it together in a kit which is easy. You'll just get a single zip file that you can download to your computer, and when you unzip it, you'll have clear instructions as to what to do with everything inside. So there'll be a folder that says upload me, and you'll have to upload that to your website. There'll also be a folder that has instructions in it. So basically you're going to get resale rights to everything that we've made over the last 8 weeks, everything I'm going to show you in just a second. And you'll get that in an easy-to-use reseller kit, and so there'll be a folder that says just edit me and then upload me. So you'll have to go through and sort of things, put your PayPal, your ClickBank buttons in, and all the rest of it. But apart from that, it is ready to go. So we want to kind of cover that in just a second and show you around the website. After that, really, this is then an open forum. It's across to you guys to ask any questions you may have. There are 2 ways that you can do that, and I want to do something that I've done in webinars in the past for other coaching students, but I've never really done before. And basically that is the cool little option. If you wanted to, and you have got a microphone on your computer, there's no reason why we can't unmute you and you can ask your question live on the call. If you'd rather not speak on the webinar, I know it can be scary when you've never done it before, then you can just type your questions into the questions box. But obviously sometimes it's easier to chat about things rather than just to answer a question and then maybe we misunderstand the question and then you have to ask it again and all the rest of it. And also brainstorm anything that you're currently doing. So that's cool. So before we dive into look at the actual website itself, can you type into the questions box, because I want all of you to do it, whereabouts you are in the process at the moment. So what you've actually done so far and what you haven't done so far. Just waiting for that. Arjen says he's still making the product. Okay, cool. One thing I want to talk about on this, by the way, is that obviously I know that, you know, the reason we've been able to go through and do this so quickly is partially because we've done it lots of times before, and I realise obviously that some of you, if you've never done this before, you might be kind of still fine-tuning the earlier stages. One thing I want to talk about with this is that when I've talked to people about this kind of thing before, people tell me that the problem is that they're a perfectionist and they want this to be perfect before they put it on the internet, before they put their name on it. And one of the things that I always say is that the problem with perfection is that it doesn't exist. It's not a kind of a truly defined standard. So with that said, being a perfectionist is actually a draw on your resources and a draw on your time, but it doesn't give you any extra benefit. In that the only reason that you don't think that what you've done is perfect yet is because you're creating it and you are emotionally attached to it. The truth is that if it's good enough, it's good enough. So it's better to get it going than it is to make it perfect. So don't get it perfect, just get it going. Put something on the internet. If it's good enough, then it's good enough. If it'll solve the problem, if it'll do the deal, then it's good enough. That's all that matters. Anything beyond good enough is a waste of time. Arjun says still making the product. Dave says he's got a recording but hasn't started anything yet. I have an ebook, haven't done anything else. I don't have a template. We'll put it all together at once. Product about done. Sales pages hosted, uploading. ClickBank, etc. is up. Good. Haven't done very much. Involved in work and life projects, relying on the ability to go back to the members section and catch up as I'm able. So question, how long will we have access to the members area and all bonuses? You'll have access to the members area for about 4 hours. No, I'm kidding. You'll have access to the members area for the rest of our life, the rest of our business existence. We'll leave that up there and you'll have access to it. Of course, don't forget you can download the training too. So regardless of us, you can download the videos, keep them on your computer. So even if we did both go heavily bankrupt and close everything down, you'd still have it all because it'll be on your computer. Don't worry, that's not happening.
So say, do you know something I don't?
No.
Things were getting better all the time.
Yeah. So that's fine. Donna says, great. Good. Nice to see you back on the calls as well, Donna. I know you have missed the last couple. All right, cool. So everyone's at different stages. Most people are back where the product creation side of things is concerned. Keith has got his product just about done. His sales pages uploaded, ClickBank, and all the rest of it's up as well. That's cool. Maybe we could even have a look at it, Keith. Maybe not. It's up to you if you want to keep your anonymity for now. But that would be cool. Keith says he's struggling to understand how to upload the second pages, the registration and the thank you download pages. Okay, cool. Pretty much the same way that you did the first one. Again, when you get the FileZilla video in the next day, then you'll see how I do it. But effectively, you should be able to upload that the same way that you uploaded the first one. If that makes any sense. Anyway, we'll come to questions in just a sec.
Yeah, when we get to questions, especially if Keith doesn't mind, it probably would be cool to do the unmute because it'd be easy to understand. And
no, he's from Leeds. We'll never understand. All right, then let's have a look. Let's have a look at the website. So I'll just get rid of these slidey slides. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll just show you. If I was to go to just wait for it to catch up. If I go to simplequittingsystem.com, that will load the sales page now for the actual system itself. Now, don't get too excited. It's the sales page you've already seen with a couple of tweaks to the copy, but nothing dramatic. I don't know if you guys can see that yet, but it appears to be taking ages to load on my second computer, so I'll just give it a minute. There we go. So, there it is. This is the sales page for the product. You've already seen it, so nothing too exciting to show you here. Obviously, when you saw it last, I think it was still in a PDF form, but now it's in the HTML page. So I'm just going to casually scroll down. I'm going to quickly flick to the bottom, because I know that the sound sometimes breaks up when I scroll. So, you can see down at the bottom there is an add to cart button. There's a section which says, yes, Robert, let me in. I'd be crazy not to accept this incredible offer and grab your entire simple quitting system for the low price of just $67. I understand that I'm locking in this special price by ordering right now, and I accept there is no risk to me thanks to your 100% satisfaction guarantee. I'm ready to get instant access to your system and get started straight away to transform my life. Then there's a button which says add to shopping cart. Then there is the sign off down at the bottom. Now just to show you, if I keep scrolling down, at the bottom, just to show you, I mentioned it in the ClickBank webinar, but down at the bottom there is a section where which ClickBank makes you put in. You can see it has my email address, support@simplequittingsystem.com. Now that email address doesn't exist yet, but it will soon before this actually goes live. And below that is a disclaimer which says ClickBank is the retailer of this product. ClickBank is a registered trademark of ClickSales Inc., a Delaware corporation located at blah 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 blah. Basically, that's ClickBank's little disclaimer that says if somebody buys this product and it's crap, they have no legal comeback on ClickBank. ClickBank aren't endorsing my product, they're merely providing a merchant service. So you need to put that on the sales page too. Now, if I scroll back up to the add to cart button, if I click on that add to cart button, this will take me to the order form for the actual product. Now, I haven't submitted this for approval yet, but the order form will still load. It's in test mode, and the reason I haven't submitted it for approval yet is because I didn't want to do that until everything's finished and I'm totally happy with the sales page and all the rest of it. So for some reason, my computer seems to think that I live in Hong Kong still, and you may remember from the ClickBank webinar, it seems to load everything in Hong Kong dollars, and I've no idea why. So I'm going to change it back to US dollars. Maybe I should live in Hong Kong. Maybe this is an omen telling me something. So you can see now $67. It says this account has not been activated. Until it's activated, only purchases using test credit card information may be placed. But that's beside the point. The point is it's there and I know it works. So people would ordinarily, they can't at the minute because it's in test mode, but would ordinarily be able to fill in their credit card details here or click a PayPal button, which is missing because it's in test mode, over here and make their payment. So we know that the order form works. So now I know that when people land on my sales page and when people click on the add to cart button, they will be taken to this order form where they can fill out their details. Now, upon putting in their details and upon completing their order, they will then be taken to the download page. Now, right now, it's a rather obvious URL. In order that I could very easily and readily give it to you to show you. It will, when the thing goes live, be on a more obscure URL. So at the moment, it's at simplequittingsystem.com/go/download.html. Now, as I said, I will be giving this a more obscure URL when the thing actually goes live. But I have left it on that obvious one for now, just so I could get to it easily. So it will be called something like download secure 987b4f2xyz.html. So this is the download page, and again, you're getting the templates of all of this for yourself, so that all of the elements you need are there. But basically, it says the Simple Quitting System members only download page. Hello, thank you and congratulations on making the fantastic decision to join my Simple Quitting System's smoking cessation program and breathe. I know that you're going to love this system and it will help you to quit forever. I wanted to make this program as easy to follow as possible, so I've broken it down into 4 easy steps. Now, this is one of the things that I really recommend you do with your product, which is to break everything down. If it's a multi-part product, which ours is, then I strongly recommend you break each section of it down in order that you can make it as easy to use for the customer as possible. Now, you'll notice this on all scales. If you look at the Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp, which is in the bonuses section of the members area, I mean, Jesus, that is 100 hours of video, 50 hours of audio. I mean, it's huge. But we've still done the same thing. It's broken down into, I think we call them parts rather than steps, but it's the same deal. And we've gone as far as to put, well, Jonathan went as far as to put together a guide that actually walks people through it, depending on, where they want to be at. And what they're most interested in. But the point is, even on a small scale like this, where there's only 4 parts to the product, don't just have a thing that says click here, download the product, and then just give them it in one go. Make it nice and step by step for them. So I want them to download the MP3 first, then download the workbook, then download the worksheets, and then download the video training. I may swap the workbook and the hypnosis session around because the workbook has some quite important instructions and information about the hypnosis MP3 in it. So I may consider swapping those two around, but hey, or I might just put some instructions above it. So that's cool. The other thing is that if you break it down into steps like this, it increases the perceived value of the product, and value is entirely a perception. It means nothing. So the cool thing is that, you know, on the sales page, I said the MP3 session is worth, you know, I can't remember now, but $97. PDF is worth $47. The worksheets are worth $47. The video training is worth $97. I broke everything down into a really specific value. So if you then clumped it all into one folder and said, here you are, just have it, then in their head they're getting less. They're decreasing the value again of what they've just bought. And it's the initial bit when they first get it that's really important that you get that right. So the point is, as soon as they land on the download page, they need to see how much stuff there is, and that's something we did really well with. Not to blow our own trumpets or anything, but that's the one thing we did really well with the Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp. Now, of course, there is a crap load of stuff there, but the point is they know that the second they hit the page. There's no clicking around to find stuff. It's literally they land on the page. It's the longest web page ever made, and it's got a billion and it's got a bajillion things on it. They immediately know, oh, I've just paid $1,000 for this, but crap, look at how much stuff's on it. So that's something we did ridiculously well with the Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp, but even on a small scale, again, I've done it here. You could even go as far as to recap the value of each thing on this thing if you wanted to, so at least they know how much money they appear to have saved by buying it all from you in this package. Now, of course, it doesn't matter whether you have actually got stack loads of stuff or whether you've only got 2 items. Again, give them separately, and it has more perceived value than if you just say, here's a folder of stuff, download it together. So that's that. Now, the only other thing I haven't done is I haven't uploaded the product itself, so these links don't work yet. The reason for that is that if I did upload them, I'd be uploading them to the wrong folder, again, because at the minute this has a really obvious name. So I'm going to wait until I've made it the correct folder and then upload them. But obviously these links would go to the right place if you were to actually click on them and download the damn things. Just by uploading them to the same folder the page is in and then making the links to the file names. Again, that's all covered in the how to upload your website video that will be added to the members area tomorrow. That's on the top of my list. So this is the members page, sorry, the download page or the members page or the thank you page or whatever else you want to call it. The only other thing, you'll notice again it has the support email address and it has the disclaimer on the bottom. Again, that's a ClickBank requirement. They just say if you're going to sell the stuff on ClickBank, you have to have that. So I've put it there. So that's that. The other page, which is important, is at affiliates.html, and again, this is the page that you're going to get the template of. In the template section tomorrow, in the resources section tomorrow. Basically, it says, now, this is the bare bones of what this page needs to look like. I'm going to spruce it up a bit, but the reason I've left it like this is to show you the exact template you're getting so that you know exactly where you need to fill in the blanks. Now, this isn't the best affiliate page in the world, and the reason it's not the best affiliate page in the world is because I don't know your product. I don't know what it does, I don't know what it is, I don't know how much it is, I don't know how much your commissions are. I don't know any of those details that I'd need to know in order to write that page for you. So this is the absolute bare bones of what this page should say. The important thing about this page is that it needs, and again we covered this two webinars ago, is that this page needs to sell your affiliates on the idea of promoting your stuff. It's almost like a sales page in itself, except you're selling something that's kind of free. You're selling them into the idea of promoting your stuff. So you need to take this opportunity to get people to promote your stuff. You need to use this opportunity to give them all of the benefits of promoting you. So again, we talked about features and benefits when we talked about writing sales copy. The exact same thing applies here. You need to tell them the features of your product and the features of your service and the features of the of your website and your promotion, but also sell them on the benefits of what they're gonna get as a result. So the feature would be, this is an incredible product. It consists of this, 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 and this. That's the feature. The benefit is your customers are going to love you for promoting it to them. It sells for $97 and you get 50% commissions. That's the feature. The benefit is you're making $48.50 every sale you generate. our earnings per click are $1, all the rest of it. Earning per click, by the way, I think I talked about this 2 webinars ago, but just in case I'll recap, because I've been teaching about it to some internet marketing folks recently. And that is that earning per click is pretty much the only metric, the only number in your business that your affiliates really care about. Basically, what it means is how much are they going to earn for every unique click that they send to your website or your sales funnel. Okay, so in other words, if they send you 100 clicks, in other words, 100 unique visitors, 100 people click on their affiliate link, we call them clicks, how much money will they stand to make? Now, anything above $1 in most kind of niche markets is considered pretty good. In the self-improvement niche, you can even get it as high as $2, $3. I've seen it as high as $5, $6, $7, $10, but very, very rarely. Usually you're looking about $1 to $3. In other words, to put that in round numbers, and again, these are very round numbers, but just to keep the math simple, if you sell a product which is $10 and it converts at 10%, the conversion is 10%, so 10 out of every 100 people will buy it. Okay, but that's not really the number that people care about, because the conversion means nothing. Your product could be $1, in which case the conversion at $10 is 10%, sorry, is a crap conversion. If the product's only $1, 10% is a brilliant conversion, but they're not going to make much money because the product's only $1. But if you have a $10 product and it converts at 10%, that means 10 out of every 100 visitors will buy the product. That means if they send 100 visitors, they're going to make it's going to make $100 in sales, which means the earning per click will be $1 EPC. Now, obviously, they only get half of that, but still, the earning per click is that they will generate. Does that make any sense at all? It's hard to explain. So if you sell a $10 product and it converts at 10%, that means 10 people will buy it out of 100. So 10 sales at $10 is $100. So you've made $100 from 100 visitors. So you get $1 per EPC. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. So again, that's the kind of metric that affiliates actually genuinely really care about. Is not what does it convert at. They don't care what the price is. All they care about is if I send you 1,000 visitors or 100 visitors, how much money am I going to make? So again, those are the kind of metrics you need to put in there. So this is the template that we've given you to kind of model as a starting point, and then you can go through and fill in the additional information that we just don't know about your product. So you need to talk about what it is, what the product is, what it delivers to the customers, what the features are for the affiliate, what the benefits are to the customers and to the affiliate, how much it is, what it converts at, what the earning per click is. Although I say they don't care, it is still worth including. What it converts at, what the earning per click is. Now, I'm aware you won't know that yet, so you don't have to put it there immediately, but as soon as you have any form of metrics, as soon as you've had even a few people promote this, then you need to make sure that you put it in. Obviously, you can't make it up, or you can, but I don't recommend you do. You can't legally make it up. Just leave that bit blank for now, and you can fill that in when you actually know. Below that then, there are, sorry, I've got a moth flying around me in the office. Not anymore. Hope there's nobody listening from the RSPC moth. So below that then is the affiliate promotion instructions. Now you'll see what we've done is we've broken down the process of making their affiliate link. We've shown them exactly how to make their affiliate link. All they need is a free ClickBank account, which it explains further up on that page. And then what we've done is we've put in, if you remember, what I put about the naked affiliate link, okay? So we've put http:// your ID, so this is where they'd put their ClickBank name, and then it's your ClickBank ID, whatever that is. In my case, it's Simple Quit. That's my account name on ClickBank. .hop.clickbank.net. So if your username, for example, Keith's product he's put in the chat box is ESP weight loss. So let's imagine, and I don't know, but let's imagine that his ClickBank URL is ESP weight, for example. That might be his ClickBank account name. Then this would be your ID, so that's where they put their ClickBank ID, espweight.hop.clickbank.net. So all you have to actually do is to put your ClickBank username in that space there. Then there's the instruction. Just tell them to just replace your ID with your ClickBank ID, and then you just remind them what their commissions and EPCs are and stuff. All the deliveries made very easily, so nice and easy. Then below that, and what we've done is left these blank for you to fill in because I just haven't written them for this promotion yet. But basically, are these boxes. and I've basically for now just put in and told you where to insert stuff. So one of the things we recommend you give your affiliates is some swipe emails that they can swipe and deploy, to use the term from the famous marketer Dan Kennedy. And basically you would give them the emails that they literally just have to send out. So this is the... sorry, I'm just reading a question. Okay, I'll come on to that in a second. So basically, when we recommend that you give them emails, we recommend that you write the subject lines for the emails and the message body for the email. Again, we talked about all of that back in module... it was either the last module or the one before, and I can't remember which. The last one, I think, which was called Affiliate Aid. Anyway, it's all covered in there. Basically, you would write the email subject lines for them to choose from, and then below that, there's the boxes for you to actually write the emails in. So look, we've given you those cool, funky little email boxes, because obviously a lot of people find that tough to code these. So literally all you have to do is open this in an HTML editor, tap into that box and change what you want this to say. So you'd actually just write your emails into this box, save the page, and then upload it. Again, it's all going to be covered in the FTP, how to upload your web pages videos. So that's all in there. So there's a bunch of boxes that you can use in order to put into your emails. Again, the other thing we talked about on the previous module was about giving them a review of your product that they can use as a basis. That's not unethical. You are purely giving them a review of your product from your perspective. They can modify it, change it, or use it as a basis, or they can use it exactly as it is. All you would say to them is make sure that you go through, look at the product, and if you agree that that review is fitting, then go ahead and use it. Where you can give them a blog post. You could write a blog post for them. Maybe they've got, in our case, perhaps they've got a blog about addictions, or about, let me think, about addictions, or about general health or something, health and wellness. You could put a blog post in there for them to use. Some forum signatures. Now this is a newer idea based on something I'm going to be talking about in the traffic training you're going to be getting for the next year. Basically, there is and in fact we did touch on it in the kind of bonus webinar we shoved in the middle of the program, the idea that you can sign up to forums within your niche, and you can go through and you can post things on the forum, and without posting blatant adverts, which will in most cases knock the owner and sometimes get you banned from the forum, you can have a signature, most of the time, a signature on the forum which will appear underneath all of your posts. And if, let's say, you spend 6 months posting on the forum and then a month later you update your signature, that signature will update on all of your forum posts, even the ones you posted 6 months ago. So if you change your website or you want to promote something new, that's absolutely fine. That will update. So again, you would put some forum signatures in there in case your affiliates want to do some forum marketing. The other thing would be email signatures. Now, if they send out emails to their friends, their family, to anybody, there are a lot of people who've made money from actually just spending. If you log into Gmail, for example, or Yahoo, I don't know if Hotmail does it, but I know that Gmail does it, you can actually set a signature, an email signature, which will appear on the bottom of all of your emails that you send, unless you tell it otherwise. And so it's quite simple to give them an email signature that they can include in their emails that they send every day. And the other thing that we recommend is product graphics and banner adverts. So again, we've given you the space to put the image URL for those. All you do is you'd upload those banners to your website and you'd pop in the URL of those banners there so that people can use them for their own websites. So this is the affiliate tools page. So that's the kind of the three main pages. Now, Arjan says, is there no sign up page for affiliates? Well, the thing is, there is one, and it's in the template that you're going to get, but I recommend not using it. I recommend doing a slight modification of this page, and I'll tell you why. I've had a change in perspective of this in the last kind of 2 months or so. Basically, the old way of doing this was to have a page where affiliates could sign up. So they'd land on a page, it would literally just sell them on the benefits of promoting, then they'd put their name and email address in, which would add them to your affiliates list, and then they'd be taken to this affiliates tool page where they can actually go through and get their affiliate tools. Fine. The problem is, as time's gone by, more and more affiliates are less willing to, and I found this from personal experience, to opt in to an affiliate sign-up page without having a brief glimpse, just to get the tools to promote. They kind of have this thing about, well, if he really wants me to promote, or she really wants me to promote, then they should just give me the tools. So what we recommend that you do now is that you use this page as your affiliate page, and you would insert a section at the top, probably just above this letter, that would say, enter your name and email address here to get important affiliate updates or anything like that, and give them the option to opt in instead. And I've been doing this on one of my products recently, and I found that just about as many affiliates opt in on that page as opted on in the other one. So I'm not losing affiliates, but affiliates are more keen to do it. So this is becoming more and more the case in most affiliate marketing and most product affiliate sign-up pages, is rather than having a page which effectively is quite blind, you're not giving them a lot of a clue as to what they're going to get. When they put their email, and then they put their name and email address in, just give them the tools regardless, and then let them opt in if they want to. If they're really genuinely interested, and they are genuinely going to listen to what you've got to say, then you can upload. Then they can opt in. Now, of course, you can recommend that they opt in. And say, look, you should really opt in because you're going to get this, 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 and this. I'm going to be telling you about, we're going to run a competition where you can win $500 in bonus prizes if you're the top performing affiliate, which again we talked about last week. And then you can say, but you have to be on the list to get it. So they're more likely to opt in. You can do all kinds of things. It doesn't even have to be cash incentives. You know, you can say all sorts of things just to try and get them to opt in. But again, I'd rather have someone promote and not be on my affiliate list than not promote at all, basically, because that's going to make me money. And if the product promotion goes really well for them, then they're likely to come back and opt in because they'll want to know what you're going to be doing in future. So now the other reason I haven't put this on this page yet is because because it wasn't kind of part of the curriculum, we haven't covered the whole idea of having a list and building a list and all the rest of it. But I am going to put together some video training. It will take me a week or so to do it because there's a lot to cover. We're talking hours of additional video training. But I'm going to put together an additional training set of modules for you, teaching you the process of building a list. It's not technical, but you just have to there's lots of watching what I do, kind of watch over my shoulder as I do it, and then do it yourself. So there'll be lots of watching a video, then pausing it, and then doing that bit, then watching a bit more, and then pausing it, and then doing that bit, then watching a bit more, and so on and so forth. So I will break it down and make it as easy to understand as possible, but there is quite a lot to get with it. So I can't teach it in a webinar, all of that. So that will be covered in the videos rather than this. Okay. Keith says, have you ever considered selling double glazing? No, I don't think it's readily downloadable, Keith. I don't think they can download double glazing. I don't think it works that way. So, Keith says, will you fill in an example of these, Rob? The easiest thing to do to see an example of what I'm talking about is just to look at Elite Hypnosis bootcamp.com/swipes. Because, although obviously in the next week or so I will be uploading the actual simple quitting system swipes, the best example of this we've got that you can look at is on there. You can actually see, and the reason that this is the best example is because we've actually used these for a very large, lucrative launch of our own product, namely the Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp itself when it launched, and we've sold literally hundreds of them. So this is a better example. So you're better off going to elitehypnosisbootcamp.com/swipes and looking at the swipe emails we've got in there, and you'll see how we've given them the subject lines. This is a slightly different layout to the one we've given you, which I think the one you've got is better. But you'll see that you've got the subject lines for them to choose from, because this is structured towards a launch rather than an ongoing promotion. But you'll see the subject lines in the subject line box, and you'll see the main emails in the email box. So again, you'll see exactly how it works, and because you've got these little boxes, all you've got to do is go through and fill in the information. It was the signatures. I don't think we used them. What we used instead was tweets and Facebook updates, but it would be the same idea. So you can see I've got here, it says, wow, learn hypnosis with this free presentation. Insert affiliate link here. So that could be a forum signature just as easily as it could be a Facebook thing. Somebody could put that in their signature on a forum, and then literally have the link to your website. And the reason we used the free presentation thing is because we had a free video supposedly that was just a sales video that sold them into the idea of it. But again, there's now you can learn the secrets of the world's greatest hypnotists and how to make a ton of cash. Insert affiliate link here. So again, that's the kind of thing you could put. Learn how I lost 50 stone in 3 hours with this amazing course. Click here. That kind of thing. Obviously, you've got to be careful about making actual claims like that, because obviously that's not true. But you can, put accurate claims in there and things that are going to actually get people's attention. So that's the kind of the main funnel. The only 2 pages that are missing from this, and I've told you why, is because there's the affiliate sign up page, which you can use if you want to, and you're getting a template to use it if you so desire. And there's also the registration page. If you want to build a list of customers, then I do recommend you have a page in there. But again, the reason I've not shown you it is because, the reason I've not uploaded it and shown you it is because I haven't covered it yet, but that will be covered in list building training because it's more relevant. And you need to understand list building before you can understand how to structure that page and how to make it fit into the funnel. So all of that will be explained in what I'm going to call the ninja list building tactics, which will go into the bonus training, which will be kind of just underneath where Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp is. Hopefully that all makes sense. Does that all make sense? Say yes or no. And if you say no, ask a question and tell me why it doesn't make sense. While you do that, Arjen says, how do you calculate the conversion rate? It's simple. You get some affiliates on board first. There will be affiliates who will promote you without knowing the statistics, but you have to be blatantly honest. You have to say, look, this is a brand new product. We don't know how well it will promote. Will you send us a small amount of traffic, maybe send an email to a segment of your list? So if they've got a list of 50,000 people, maybe they could just send it to 1,000 of them or 500 of them. To send you 1,000 visitors, that is. If they send you 1,000 visitors or 500 visitors, to be honest, anything above 100 visitors will give you a rough idea of what your conversion rate is. If they send you 100 visitors, and you can tell this from ClickBank. When you log into ClickBank, you can look at a report, and the report will tell you how many unique clicks they've sent and how many they've sold for each affiliate independently. So if they send you 100 clicks and they make 3 sales, your conversion rate is 3%. If the product is $50, then you'd have sold 3 at $50, which is $150. They sent you 100 visitors to do it, so that means the EPC, the earning per click, is $1.50, but obviously if you're giving 50% commissions, their EPC is 75 cents and your EPC is 75 cents as well. But the EPC that you can quote on the affiliate page is $1.50, because that is the full earning per click. Again, if you're selling a product and it converts at 3% and it's a $50 product, that means if they send you 100 visitors, you will make 3 sales. 3 sales at $50 is $150. So you divide the $150 by the 100 visitors you got, and that means you're making $1.50 for every customer, for every visitor that you get to your website. That's an EPC of $1.50, 75 cents to them, 75 cents to you. So the conversion is just however many sales you've made out of however many visitors you got. Cool. Pretty much everybody said they understand it. Nobody said they don't understand it, so we'll take the non-answers as yeses. Cool. So now you can see, apart from just filling in the blanks, which is all you've got to do when you get the templates, pretty much the entire funnel is up and running and ready to go. All I need to do is change the name of the download page. I need to upload the actual product itself, which will take 10 minutes. I need to go through and fill in the affiliate swipes, and then I'm done. And then I can start looking for affiliates. So literally, guys, when we started this thing 9 modules ago, I suppose, if you include this one, which was probably about 3 months ago, maybe just over 3 months ago. When we started all of this, we had nothing but an idea. We knew that we were going to be making a quit smoking product, but we didn't have a name for it. We didn't have any of those things. So we had a head start in that we've done the system before, which is going to get faster every time you do it. We have a head start in that we knew what the product was going to be. We knew it was going to be quit smoking, but that was it. We've gone through, we've made the product, we've put together the sales page, the sales letter itself, the download page. Everything's been done in the same space of time that you've had to do it too. Now, to prove that wasn't just our luck or the fact we've done it lots of times. And admittedly, it took me a lot longer than that the first time I did it because I had no one to show me the way. You're in a hugely advantaged position because we've actually done. I had to work this out. Nobody taught me this. I had to work this out. So whereas you've had somebody to guide you all of the way. So obviously, if you're not this far on yet, don't worry, not a problem. You know, people don't have life that takes over and stuff. The point is, it can be done, and you can do it very, very quickly. An example of this is that Keith has actually got his apparently up and running.
And he said we can have a look at them. So actually, on the webinar. So
okay, perfect.
So it might be worth having a look and seeing what he's up to, and anything glaringly jumps out of us so that we can advise on, we can do that as well. Okay, I'm just quickly looking at it on my other computer because I just want to make sure that it doesn't randomly... Well, I've had a quick look at the weight loss one.
Right, I've actually got an error message on the weight loss one, which is a little bit weird. esp-weightloss.com. Is it .com or .co.uk?
.com.
No, it's .co.uk.
It's .com, I've got it here on the screen.
I've got an error message then. Anyway, I'll show you
esp-weightloss.com.
Okay, I'm going to do it in front of you on the computer. esp-weightloss.com. Says problem, please contact support.
Not triple W at the beginning, but...
Yeah, that shouldn't matter. It's Firefox knocks it off.
It doesn't on my computer.
Well, that's very strange.
Even when I click refresh, no. I'm clicking refresh, getting rid of my cookies. Fine, I've got it fine.
Oh, there we go. It's now loaded. It took a few minutes, but it's redirected me to the right place. Okay, cool. Now it works. Cool. So Keith has started this, and again, Keith started at the same time as everybody. Keith had no prior knowledge of this system, nothing. So he's called it Egg Sausage. No, that's something else. Easy, Safe, and Permanent Total Weight Loss System. In fact, it's a good job it's not called the Egg, Sausage, and Peas Weight Loss System because that's not going to make you lose weight, is it? Easy, Safe, and Permanent Total Weight Loss System. Now, I can tell you without asking Keith, and I don't know this, but I'm going to make a very educated guess that this page was made by Rich, who runs QuickSiteStudio.com. Who's a really great mini site designer from Birmingham in England, or the Midlands somewhere. So I can tell you that immediately because I know his style in terms of the formatting and everything. So that's cool, and it looks great. I think the e-cover's cool, and I think it's good. There's not too many graphics at the header that it takes away from there. It gives them stuff to distract them. It tells you what the system does. So apart from that, that looks cool. So, warning, reading this could seriously affect your weight. At last, you too can lose all that excess weight and stay out of the gym without dieting, without effort, easily, safely, and permanently. Cool. I know that the prospect of shedding pounds without effort probably sounds ridiculous to you right now, but my ESP, Easy, Safe, and Permanent Total Weight Management System will show you how you can make it a reality. Before I tell you how my system really can change your life, let me tell you why I know what I'm talking about. It's highly probable you're reading these lines and stumbled upon them. It's also possible you've recommended to check out my program. As a hypnotist of some renown, I do have one claim to fame. It's generally recognised that I'm a master of the art of persuasion. By using my art combined with hypnosis, with my knowledge of psychology, it will be extremely easy for me to contrive a convincing paragraph outlining exactly what you want to hear. I'd string together a few words designed to convince you we're both on the same wavelength. A simple exercise in semantics would establish my system is the only weight loss system that could possibly work for you. It sounds like our sales letter. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like the exact thing that we do in our sales letter. The tried and tested approach to inducing people to buy self-help or motivational products is to mix up the basics with a smattering of psychological cliches, throw in a few well-known anecdotes, add a liberal peppering of persuasion, a dash of sincerity, and then bind it all together with a handful of testimonials. My bone of contention is that these types of sales pages are so often written with one purpose only, to separate you from your cash. I know you've no doubt tried in the past to lose weight with a little lasting success, and I know you've tried this diet and you've tried that diet. You've starved yourself and cut out all the foods that you enjoy most. You spent hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars or pounds on quick fixes that are fundamentally flawed. They do not work. As mad as it may seem to you right now, you must stop dieting, stop trying before you can start losing weight permanently. To say that I'm not interested in selling my system would be stupid. Of course I want you to buy it. You're only still reading because you need it, but it's more than that. I genuinely want you to achieve all that you want to achieve, and I know that my system is foolproof, provided that you use it. See how incredibly easy it is to eat whatever you want yet still lose weight. Enjoy feeling secure in the knowledge you will lose weight safely. Taste the joy of achieving your target and losing weight permanently. My program will teach you how to turn your dreams into reality. The step-by-step program will teach you through a combination of audio tutorials, concise instructions, and straight-to-the-point tips and tricks how to make your dreams a reality. Realize your true potential, be happier in yourself, boost your personal self-confidence, and how to lose weight fast. Celebrities and pillars of the business community have, over the years, chosen to travel far and wide to benefit from my one-to-one consultation. Designing and implementing a solution to their individual problem is my speciality. Since launching my fully downloadable program, now you too can begin to lose weight whilst you sleep. Enjoy the benefits of my program in the comfort of your own home. Discover an incredible, natural, cheap and readily accessible appetite suppressant that will speed up the process. At a fraction of the cost of the one-to-one sessions, my fully downloadable system creates weight loss, it generates strength and self-confidence, builds from within you your motivation to live your dreams. By following it, you will fulfill your ambition and realise your true potential in a way that's right for you. That sounds like a familiar sentence. In a way that is right for you. Prepare now for some fantastic changes. When it's time to change, the first step is down to you. Order now. Keith Taylor, a positive beacon in a negative world. As with any weight loss program, blah, 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 fine. Okay, cool. Well, okay, cool. So the first thing is, it's not perfect, but it's a starting point. So the point is you've got this up and running now. So this sales page is better than no sales page. Obviously now all you've got to do is start driving traffic, and then over a period of time you can improve it. Now, to give you a vague critique on it, and I can't give you a full critique because it would take hours, because that's just the way copywriting is, and I'm not an expert on it myself, I just know enough. My points would be, the first one is there's nothing that says how much it is. So without clicking the add to cart button, they can't find out how much it is. So that's the first thing. I'd make sure you put in the price somewhere.
And a price comparison of how that price is so much cheaper than coming to see you in person, kind of thing. So, you know, it's got a value of however much, but order now and it's only this much.
David says order now, it doesn't click, the order now button doesn't click through. I'm guessing that's because it's not on ClickBank yet. I'm still working on it, but I'm getting there. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, cool. So yeah, just as a vague critique, just to make sure you are going in the right direction, make sure you put the price on there somewhere. Again, build up how much it should be worth and then knock the price down. That's the other thing. The other thing is I think it dives into the product too quickly. So first of all, you want to... so at the minute, it's... so TV adverts obviously have like 30 seconds of airtime or a minute of airtime or whatever. Obviously in the States you've got, you know, infomercials which are minutes and minutes long. But effectively you will... yeah, so effectively with a TV advert, it's angled around the fact that as soon as the TV advert starts, they're usually shoving the product in your face, or, you know, within 30 seconds or a minute they have to, because that's how long the advert is. What we have the benefit of is that we can secure people's time, provided that it's compelling enough, for the length of time it takes them to read the page. So you can tell them about the product quite a bit further down. If I just go to my sales page, you'll see there's a headline and there's a sub-headline. Then I build up all of the pain, all of the emotion. Then I build up all of my credentials and why they should listen to me. Then I talk about the problem a bit more, and I really exaggerate the issue. Then I say, you know, this is why you failed before. It's not your fault, blah, 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 blah. And then I tell them about the product. So I don't tell them about the product until I've already got them hooked and intrigued and pulled in. Whereas this pretty much dives straight into the product from paragraph 1. So I'd think about that. But yeah, apart from that, it's a starting point in that it's a sales page that works. It's a sales page that's there. It has the basic elements. It has the problem. It has the solution. It has a call to action. So in that respect,
you need to basically activate it and get it going and see what sort of conversion it gets. Because The one thing I do like about it, I particularly like, just because people, I don't know, I just have this gut instinct of paragraph that's apparently establishing your credibility, but then effectively is giving them, unbeknownst to them, a bit of an insight into how to write a sales letter. You know, the bit where it's saying I'd string together a few words designed to convince you that we are both on the same wavelength. That section of it, I think, and then followed underneath with the yellow highlighted blue text, my bone of contention is that these types of sales pages are so often written with one purpose only, to separate you from your cash. I think that people, especially who are chasing after weight loss solutions, will have spent money after money after money on pills, potions and whatever. That will strike a chord with them, and they'll think, yeah, I've been ripped off before, so it will make them feel more open and positive towards, which clearly is the intention, towards investing in this product, because you've drawn their attention to the things that have ripped them off before. So I can sort of see, you know, because you're using that particular paragraph, it would then be a little bit contradictory to, but way too much other information in, fleshing it out, like Rob's just said. If you're going to flesh it out, you'd have to kind of lose that paragraph, otherwise you'd be doing, and it would be obvious to a lot of people that you were then doing exactly what you told them that you disagreed with and had ripped them off before. If that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with it. Okay, cool. But I mean, as we said, you know, all you can really do is finish the first draft of it. And as I said, this is better than no sales page. So get it up, start going with it, start seeing what happens. And if it converts at 1%, brilliant. Now we have to work out how to get it to 2%. And the only way to do that is to play around with it. Incidentally, it may or may not be happening, but I may have been booked. I'm waiting for confirmation. I may well have been booked to fly to LA in Hollywood in January and speak at a seminar about split testing. Now, split testing is the concept of having two identical sales pages, driving 50% of your traffic to one, 50% to the other, and then tracking the conversions to see which one converts best. Now, the seminar I'll be speaking at, if it comes through, and I think it will, but I can't count my chickens, is a seminar for the adult industry. So it's for it's a friend of mine who's built a multi tens of millions of dollars of business with pornography, and although he doesn't have the company anymore, he's still involved in the organising of this conference. So basically, he was looking for someone who knew a lot about this split testing idea, which I do, and I've done lots of it. And like, I managed a launch that did $300,000 in sales, and I did all in a week, and I did all of the split testing side of it. So he's very interested to have me speak at the event. So I'm just waiting for him to confirm, basically. But it sounds like that'll be happening. So although it's not until January, it's only a couple of months away. What I'll be doing is putting together the presentation for January before then. And I'll record a version of it and put that into the members area as an added little cool bonus. The other thing I'll do is the seminar's being recorded, so I will be able to secure footage of that seminar, and then I can be able to give you that as well. So although I'll be talking about it from a perspective of not just about selling porn, but I'll be selling it from a perspective of selling anything. And that'll be really useful for you, I think, to learn how to use split testing in order to find out. So in other words, you can take this sales page and put it online for a while. It converts at 1%, that's cool. Now, if you then put together a second version of it, maybe it's got a different headline, maybe it's got a different add to cart button, maybe it's got... And in the presentation, I'll be talking about the stages of split testing that I take all of our stuff through. And then what you'll be able to do is to, rather than just changing the page entirely and sending a bunch of traffic there and leaving it for a month and then monitoring the change, you can have them both running at the same time, or you can have 6 pages running together and then split test all of them and then see which one converts the best, and then you can take the best headline with the best add to cart button and try that. That might reduce conversions, so you might swap a different combination and all things. And I'm a proper dork when it comes to split testing websites and stuff. I love the concept of knowing that, that at the end of this little result that I could run for a week or a month or 3 months, I'm gonna know exactly what's happening within that business and things like that. So that's quite cool. Very funny, Keith. I can see what you've done there. Cool. Good stuff. Cool. So that's that. I'll quickly look. I'm getting the impression it's going to be similar, but I'm going to quickly look at the other one, which is ESP.
No, I could. That one, the smoking one, I couldn't get up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you might, but I couldn't.
That was weird, because you saw I got the error message on the weight loss one, but the smoking one's loading for me. That's bizarre. At last, you too can change your relationship with tobacco and enjoy every moment without patches, without pain, easily, safely, and permanently. Cool. Okay, cool. So I can see the sales letter is very similar. That's cool. The other thing you'll be able to do, of course, if you wanted to, is you are getting resale rights on our simple quitting system, as we promised in the when you bought it. The cool thing is that you will be able to, if you wanted to, you could use, therefore, our sales letter as a basis for this one. Now, I'm not saying use it exactly as it is. You can if you want to. You're getting resale rights on the product. There's no reason why you can't use our sales letter to sell this product. Just change the name. But which would give you a head start. But alternatively, you can use this as the basis and just take the bits of ours that you like. So you can take the basic structure of ours and put it in and basically do what you want with it. So that would be cool. It would mean that you'd be selling your own product with your own graphics, with your own everything else. But you can have the head start of using our sales letter with it. So that's quite cool. Do you have anything to add as far as the case study of Keith is concerned?
Well, I can't see the smoking page. I'll try it again on my computer for easier so I can scroll down. ESP- what is it next then?
Stopsmoking.co.uk.
Is it? Stop. No, it's smokingsolution.co.uk, isn't it?
Oh yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Smokingsolution.co.uk.
Smokingsolution.co.uk. Oh, it's loaded this time for me. Okay, I'll just have a quick scan. Last due to control your relationship with tobacco and enjoy every moment without patches, without pain, easily, safely, and permanently. Yeah, so you kind of use the similar midsection. This is the kind of shit other people use to try and make you buy stuff, so I'm not going to do that ploy.
One thing at the top, which says, warning, reading this could improve your health and wealth. Not it couldn't, it will. Don't give them any kind of potentially negative things to cling on to. Oh, well, it might, but it also might not. This will. And if you don't like it, you can have your money back. Promise everything, deliver everything, and if they don't find it or they don't like it, give them their money back.
Yeah, I mean, there's things you'll tweak as you go along. But looking at it, you'll get conversions. I honestly don't know whether you'll get what level. Obviously, it's impossible to my read and say what percentage of conversions you'll get out of, say, every 100 visitors. You only know that when you've had 100 visitors. I suspect it'll be quite good. Obviously going to be a bit biased to our side because it's our side, but I do like the look. I do like the bizarre, almost reverse psychology of telling them, look, everyone uses these sales tactics on you, so I'm not going to do. Here it is type thing. I think, yeah, you'll only know when you've had like 100 people go to it and get an idea, but then you can always tweak it. But gut instinct, I think you do alright with that. It's minimal, the changes. Like he said, reading this will improve your health and wealth, will be better than could improve. I changed the words "you've been brainwashed" from yellow because there's a bit too much yellow around that area of the page. I'd make them stand out more, possibly bright red there. But other than those couple of things that jump out straight away, possibly I like the idea of it looking handwritten. The signature's a great idea, but the bit that says, I think it says, when it's time to change, the first step is down to you. I like the idea of the handwriting, but perhaps a slightly more easily read font, because that's kind of your call to action. Do something about it now. That'll be the main thing that'll jump out to me. So back to you, Rob. I was going to call you Bongo Drum Man.
You're going to call me what?
Bongo Drum Man.
Oh, sorry.
That's what it sounds like, bongo drums.
No, I've just sorted something out, which is cool. Yeah, all right, cool. So yes, I agree with that. I'd change the font colour of you being brainwashed, and then apart from that, as Jonathan said, most of the changes to get started are minimal. Well, you don't need to make any changes to get started, just to get it on click, get it.
What is, you would sell them as it you'll sell some, putting it up exactly as it is now with no changes. It's just that making the odd little change, get it up as it is, and then go over, because you can make the alterations on your computer and then just re-upload the new version while it's all active and stuff, can't you?
Yeah, the other thing is you might want to change that. As with any weight loss program, it's your responsibility. You might want to change that to stop smoking. But apart from that...
Oh yeah, on the smoking page. Yeah.
apart from that...
Cool.
Yeah, it's a really good starting point. As I said, it's not perfect, but neither's mine. It's just a good starting point. Because the truth is, you can't have a perfect sales page.
And it will sell stuff for you.
Yeah.
That's the key. It will sell stuff for you. It's just a question of what we don't know, and no one can know until you get it up there. Is this going to, for every 100 visitors that go to it, are you going to sell 1? Are you going to sell 5? Are you going to sell 6? Are you only going to sell 1 every time you've had 150 visitors?
For one of my expensive courses, which is $2,000, I didn't feel comfortable to write the sales letter for it, so I outsourced it to a professional copywriter who came very highly recommended to me from someone else. To put that into perspective, somebody I know really well launched a product on ClickBank, not in this niche at all, in a totally different niche. Launched a product on ClickBank and did $3.2 million in sales in the first 3 weeks. And the sales letter was written by this guy. So this guy came to me very highly recommended. Obviously that's a huge deal. And he is used by lots of the top internet marketers. And it was $12,000 for a sales letter. So you can buy a car for that. So $12,000 to have a sales letter written, and the first draft just didn't cut it. It did all right, but it didn't cut it. It took 2 or 3 months of tweaking and changing to get it right. But but now it's a sales letter that converts like absolutely crazy. To be honest, I've now sold that as a business to somebody else, but I know how much money they're making from that sales letter. So again, even written by one of the world's top copywriters in that niche and in that industry, it still didn't convert right until it had been tweaked like crazy.
So I mean, the key message there is, don't, like Rob's already said, don't look for perfection. Get something, and you know, the examples that Keith's very kindly allowed us to share with you that he's done during the course of this process are more than good enough to be uploaded and start making money. And as long as you get traffic to the site, when enough traffic's gone there, at some point you will sell some. Now, obviously, it's what we're aiming for as you continue with this process and tweak things down the line, is that a higher and a higher percentage of people that land purchase. But even if you are the ultimate sales letter that God ever devised, and the ultimate product that you think every smoker or weight or whatever the niche was should have, there is nothing that's ever going to get 100% conversions.
Even if it's free.
It's not going to happen, even if it's free. So don't, you know, you'd be hard but to even get something that was going to convert 50-60% of the time. It's very, very, very rare. You know, if you can convert at a sort of, you know, normal direct mail where you send sales letters through the post, which I spoke about briefly. It's a sales letter that you send it through a mailing list, rather than, you know, online. Even with a good sales letter, the average conversion is generally accepted in the sales arena of direct mail as being in the realms of 3 to 5% would be considered you know, a reasonable conversion rate. If you were to get into the realms of 7.5% or above, that would be considered a really good return on a direct mail campaign. And to be honest, it's not hugely different with the internet. From my experience and understanding, or I don't look at the metrics anywhere near as much as Rob does. My point I'm saying is, the number of people who will actually buy will always be lower than you who's emotionally connected to the product, who's made it and what time in making the sales letter thinks it should be. You're always going to think, oh, it should be higher. And great, that can be used as motivation to make you tweak it, test different sales letters, different ideas and what have you. But remember, you'll never be able to get something that converts as much as you'd want it to, if you see what I mean. Because ideally, we'd all want every person who landed to buy. That's just never going to happen. Accept that right now and save yourself a load of heartache. Get stuff up there. Keith's got this together. You can have it live and active. Well, it's online now. You can have it up and running with it, you know, with ClickBank in next to no time. Then it's about getting people to plug it, get traffic to the site, and it's a numbers game. Every sales industry, whether it's direct mail, the internet, or even knocking on doors, double glazing sales, every industry has its number. You know, I used to work, well, not work, but I kind of consulted in timeshare at one time, and you know, they had numbers on boards, and I said, what's that about? And they said, well, that basically is the number we would realistically expect, number of people for you to have to pitch to before somebody sells a timeshare. And it was a pretty big number. But there again, it was a big amount of money that we're going to be taking off people. And every industry has its telesales. I've done in writing telesales scripts for people in the past. And they've had numbers on the wall, and they realistically expect, even when they were just using the ploy of offering a, excuse me, I'm just going to kind of go into roll. Can I roll one of their sales scripts? So it was Good evening, hi, yes, my name's Alex. I'm just calling you from Tuscany Designs, kitchens and bedroom specialist in Rochdale. And we've actually got one of our consultants in your area over the course of the next week offering a completely free, no catches, no obligations, plan and redesign of your bedroom or kitchen. If you'd like to explore the possibilities of how wonderful and space-saving and better things could be for you, my love. Obviously, assuming that a woman's picked up the phone there, otherwise it sounds a bit camp. Because women are always after changing the kitchens and bedrooms and stuff. That's what you're playing at. Now, but the phone would often get put down. The number realistically was offering them a free, you say no obligation, no catches, plan and design. We realistically got about 1 out of every 20 calls that actually didn't hang up that would actually accept for the plan and design. Now, to get 20 of them that stayed on the phone to then end up with 1 out of the 20 agreeing to the free plan and design, there's probably about another 20 that just hung up, swore expletives or whatever the moment they realised it was a sales call. So there's probably 40 calls being made before one person agreed to the free plan and design. And out of maybe every 10, although to be honest my conversion was slightly higher than that, I averaged in the realms of about every 6 people that had the plan and design done, 1 of them would end up purchasing a kitchen or bedroom for a few grand. But every industry's got its metrics, got its numbers. It's not, you know, that there is no, you will find out what your numbers are in the way that Rob said, but yes, you can tweak that and improve your numbers, again in the way Rob said, but please be aware, I'm sorry I'm labouring the point, but to me it was one of the biggest realisations with all this, that you're never going to get the conversions that you want, okay, unless you've got very low expectations in life. Because we all really want everyone that lands on the page to buy, and that's never going to happen. So I hope you got the message of what I'm trying to put across there. You know, it's better to get started, be making some money, tweak as you go along so it improves the numbers, but realise there will come a point where it can't really be tweaked anymore. Now, you may think, well, how do I know when that is? The honest answer is, I don't know. Have you any ideas on that one, Rob?
No, no, not at all. The truth is,
when the point is that you may as well, you know, don't get caught up on one project that much. That tweak it, yes, to improve your numbers when you start out, but also get another project on the go as well. That's the real message I'm saying. So you've got other things that will bring in, because you'd be better off with 6, 7, 8 different sites with different niches that are nowhere near perfect, that are not achieving the numbers they could do, but bringing in a bit of money each, than spending loads of time on just one site and never getting the other ones running. Because once you've got say half a dozen different sites, then you can go back again and tweak even more if you so desire. I hope you get the idea of what I'm saying. Back to you, Rob, because I'm losing the plot a bit here. I hope it's making sense. I know what I'm trying to say.
2 seconds, folks. I heard a random clatter downstairs, so I just wanted to open my office door and make sure it was probably the dog knocking over something rather than somebody breaking in. So I've opened the office door, so I've just shut it again so that I don't wake Rachel up because she is asleep. Cool. So Keith says, I'm absolutely made up of what I've learnt whilst I'm doing this. I developed anger management issues getting it all uploaded, but I now know where I was going wrong. It's a new territory and a brilliant skill to learn. Good. I'm glad you feel that way. Everybody who's commented so far is chuffed with how much they've learnt, and a lot of people have said that they were kind of surprised by how much detail everything's been, so that's good.
And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff to come. I mean, you've got between the recordings, because obviously this particular webinar will go tomorrow at some point, and the resources there, you've got everything you need to get started, to be starting to earn money. But also, as Rob's already said, there is going to be from next week a weekly how to get more traffic to your site video appearing. A little bit down the road, when you've hopefully already, well, hopefully, you know, by the time it comes to closer to Christmas, you'll have more than one site up. You'll have a couple, hopefully. At which point, you know, this stuff will appear on this building and other stuff. So it's a continual thing. Keep checking into the members area each week to see what, at the very least, there'll be a new traffic finding video, but there'll also be, as we go along, other stuff that Rob's mentioned. Tony's bought, I was a little late in on the call. Has there been any update on the web hosting?
Yeah. Yeah, basically, your account is now, this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Your account is now set up on our web hosting, so there's one thing that you need to do, which is to change the name servers. I know this sounds technically complicated. Change the name servers on your domain name. So you have the domain name and you need to tell that domain name where to point, where to go. So what you need to do is, if you email robert@elitehypnosisbootcamp.com tomorrow morning, I'll put it on my to-do list. Hang on a minute. Reply to Tony. In big capital letters, reply to Tony. And what I'll do is I'll email you. If you email me and go, what the hell do I have to do? I'll email you and tell you the exact steps that you need to take. It will vary slightly from domain registrar to domain registrar, but if you email them, they'll do it for you. And then basically, then I'll be, once you've done that, it'll take about a day, 24 hours for it to completely propagate all of the servers changes and everything. But as soon as that occurs, I will then be able to give you access to the server where you'll have access to something called cPanel, and I'll show you how that works and all the rest of it. So yeah, your account is set up. There's just one thing I need to get you to do in order to actually point the domain to your account, and then you'll be done. So if you email me, robert@elitehypnosisbootcamp.com, and tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, I'll reply and tell you what you need to do. Cool. You're very welcome, Tony. Cool. So, does anyone else have any questions specifically, or is there anything else you would like us to talk about in terms of, you know, do you want us to look at your website or your product, or have you got any ideas you want to brainstorm, or is there any questions that you have?
Keith just bought, what are your thoughts on duplicating it, I mean in the website, with a direct link to PayPal? I was thinking you get 100% of the money less PayPal's fee of all you generate personally, and it covers those who don't quite get or trust ClickBank.
Okay.
Fine, do that by all means. The fact is, ultimately, initially, you are going to get, it's a lot easier to get traffic to your site through getting affiliates, and one of the easiest ways of doing that initially is to be set up on ClickBank, because most people, you know, in the affiliate area have heard and do trust ClickBank and what have you. But there is nothing to stop you having on a different domain name, but very similar, practically the same site with you know, selling the same product with a buy now button where you get all the money.
What I would,
that you're really going to have to concentrate on traffic, getting people to, aren't you?
What I would do, and this is something that I have done on some of my websites, is to put. In fact, we've done it with Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp. We did it to save. Well, I'll explain in a sec. Basically, what I recommend you would do. Let's imagine. So your website is espsmokingsolution.co.uk. So what I would recommend you do is, obviously you've got the I would put, seeing as you haven't integrated this with ClickBank yet, I would say put that main domain name as a PayPal payment button. So when they click on the button, it goes to your PayPal account, and you get all of the money minus PayPal's 10% fee or whatever it is, and that's fine. You then, once you've finished it and you're happy with the sales letter, and you know you think it's, you know, this is all right, I now need to start getting traffic to it, you can just copy and paste that folder on your computer and upload it to your website, but put it in a folder called CB for ClickBank or Go or whatever you want to call it. In other words, it would now be espweightloss.com or smokingsolution.co.uk/CB, and what you would do is you would set it in ClickBank so that that is the URL that it takes people to when affiliates drive traffic to it. So when affiliates drive traffic, it would go into the funnel that has the ClickBank page, and when you drive traffic, you would just send it straight to the flat domain name to espsmokingsolution.co.uk. That way affiliates can promote it at the same time that you're doing your own traffic things, and then you don't have to pay ClickBank their stuff. Now, what we did,
and that's why we have Rob around, because I'd forgotten about that most obvious solution.
So that way you're tackling both things. Now, we did this with one, I can't remember what product it was. It might have been my Seesaw induction, but I forget. Something that we released recently in the last year. We did. We were using, because there's a few reasons for it which I'm not going to go into, but we didn't use ClickBank for this particular product. We used something called Click to Sell. There's nothing that, not for any reasons that would affect you at all. We still recommend ClickBank, but we use something called Click to Sell. Now, Click to Sell is cool, and it uses PayPal as the to take the payment. But the issue is, obviously, with that you have to pay PayPal, and you have to pay Click to Sell, and you have to pay your affiliates. So we had that set up with that funnel for affiliates to drive traffic to, but we also had it set up with a straight PayPal button, so that when we were driving traffic from our list, or from Facebook, or from Twitter, or anywhere else, we didn't have to pay, and it was only a couple of dollars, but we didn't have to pay the click to sell fee. But because we're shifting products in such high volumes, those click to sell fees stack up. So we realized that we were going to save several $100s in click to sell fees by having a duplicate funnel set up. So yeah, there's no reason, if you're sending traffic to it directly, there's no harm at all in having a flat payment that's got no click to sell, no ClickBank in it. It might be worth doing, now I think about it, it might be worth putting the ClickBank one on the main domain name, so smokingsolution.co.uk, and putting yours on the /go/yes/whatever. The reason is this: if your affiliates mail for your product and somebody clicks on the link but they don't buy the product, and then a week later they go back to the website, they will still be cookied for the affiliate commission. If they haven't cleared down their history or their cookies, they'll still be cookied for that affiliate. So if they go, oh, what was that website called again? Oh, it was called ESP Smoking Solution. The second time, they may well go back to the flat domain, in which case you would get all the money. And if the affiliate ever worked out that was occurring, they'd be knocked off. So I would recommend probably do it the other way around. So you would send traffic to espsmokingsolution.co.uk /go or /yes or whatever, and they would send traffic to the flat domain. But really, it's up to you. But yeah, you can definitely set up two funnels. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else got any questions? Go ahead and ask them, and if not, obviously feel free to ask any questions. This is your last live webinar with us on this, so it is your last chance to ask any questions you may have. While we're waiting for anyone to ask any last questions, one thing that you are going to get is in the next week I'm going to be emailing round you all or Facebooking you. Basically, each one of you, there's 20 people on this course altogether, and I know that there's some way I can get in touch with all of you, whether it's Facebook or email or turning up at your front door or whatever. And what I'm going to be doing, don't worry, I won't actually be doing that. What I'm going to be doing is pestering you for kind of a case study or a testimonial or a review or whatever. So in Keith's case, we can have a really strong case study. He's somebody that had, didn't know this system, hadn't done this before, had spent however long helping people with one-on-one hypnotherapy, and now we've effectively given him a full passive income stream for life. All he has to do is to keep working on it. So we'll be looking to get testimonials, because in a few weeks' time, we're actually going to be launching the recordings of this program to to a whole bunch of our subscribers who've bought other stuff from us, and basically, yeah. So we'd love to get your feedback, your testimonials, your case studies, everything from you. So if that's cool, obviously, again, you are our beta testers. The feedback we've had from you so far in kind of just casual emails and casual conversation has been through the roof.
You'll still answer my questions as they arrive, won't you, Rob? The fact is 99.9% recurring of stuff should be in the webinar videos and the stuff in the members area. If something genuinely isn't in there, or you're having a dizzy blonde moment, as I sometimes have, and it's staring you in the face, then yeah, of course, you've got our emails. Pretty much you can find us on Facebook. If you're on our Facebook friends list or search us out, add us there. then quite often you can get if we happen to be online, you might get a quicker instant response.
Facebook's better for me because it comes through to my phone as well. So although I probably won't respond from my phone, it means that I'll know that the next time I go to my computer, which is very often, seeing as I now run an internet business, I can do that.
So yeah, of course, and don't forget, you know, under the I don't know if this is something for Rob to look at, but I know that under each of the videos you can discuss and leave comments.
Yes.
You know, it'd be good. We need to encourage you to interact with each other. You know, one of you is going to show a natural, well, clearly Keith's showing a natural talent for getting off his ass and getting stuff done.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be one of you that turns out to be the wonder sales letter writer. You're just going to show a natural aptitude for it. I mean, really, you're going to find that your sales per click turn out to be amazing, and you'll think to yourself, how the hell did I do that? Because it was your first draft or something. And, you know, you may end up making extra money writing sales letters for everybody else down the line. So how these things happen, it's great if you can kind of literally connect with each other. Which you can do by contacting each other, by putting comments under the videos. Perhaps leave your Facebook user, you know, name under one of the videos so that everyone else can find it. Click join, and on the friend request button, hi, I'm another passive hypnosis profit student, and that way you can help each other out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. So yeah, definitely use those comments things. Arjen says, can you include your contact details in the members area? We can do. I mean, effectively, the support email address is already there, and we do have access to that. So the easiest thing to do, actually, the support email address is support@elitehypnosisbootcamp.com, and our support team handle that. We do have access to it, and I do see most of the emails. I just don't respond to them because normally somebody else has done it for me. But I see them so that if anything goes drastically wrong, if anything blows up, I can respond if necessary. But if you just change the word support to the word Robert, that'll come through to me. If you change the support to the word Jonathan, that'll go through to him. So, but again, you know, Facebook is the easiest way to get us if you've got it. Just Facebook.
Which in my case is, yeah, what's your Facebook?
Facebook.com/comedy hypno.
And mine is facebook.com/Alex, that's ALEX, that's THE, Hypnotist, HYPNOTIST. So that's facebook.com/Alex the Hypnotist.
And facebook.com/comedy hypno.
You know, you can quite often find us online, or we'll probably find, for away on business, we are more likely to check into Facebook as an easy way to connect with one or two friends or family members to see what they're up to and photos and stuff, than we are to bother looking at business email accounts, to be honest, because that's what we are staff for. So we are kind of letting you in our inner circle here and saying the tip is, you'll likely get a quicker response contacting us in that manner.
Arjun says, could you include...
Don't tell everyone else that.
Arjun says, could you include a members register where we can find each other? I will try and we'll find a way to do it. I can't set up something that I need to add to, because obviously we're going to be selling this system to, you know, lots of people. So I won't have time to manually go through and make a register for everyone. If I can find a way to automatically do it so that when someone joins they get added to the register, then I will. Keith says,
can you just put perhaps commentary box type thing, something like that says, you know, new members, please put your name, your MySpace, your Facebook, all that sort of thing. Yeah,
I could do that, yeah.
So it's in one area so everyone can see other members and know how to contact each other.
Okay, hang on, let's make a note of that as well.
And then that's their choice whether they put the information in.
Right. Keith's asked about images. For example, this one where it says, read this. I did that in Adobe Photoshop. But if you contact Rich that built your graphics and say that I had and show him it, just literally take a screenshot of that section and send him it and say, can you do me something that looks like this? He'll do it for you, and it'll cost, well, next to nothing. Particularly if you get a bunch of them done. So if you want a load of stuff like that doing for your sales page, maybe you want the subheadings to be done as images so that you can have cool little shadow effects on them like this. Again, just email the designer that made Rich, who did your mini site, your thingy. He wanted 30 quid for, okay, yeah. It's just you can't easily copy and paste.
Asked what the website is for Rich.
QuickSiteStudio.com. He prices it all in dollars, so he charges I think it's $67 for something, for a basic mini site template like this, where you get the header, the footer, the background, and then you just go through and fill in the content, like a framework for it. QuickSiteStudio.com. Keith says he wanted 30 quid. What is that for one? Surely not. He paid 97. There's different packages depending on how much stuff you want. Keith's obviously gone for the package that's $97. Basically, yeah, I mean, the other thing is if you go to Fiverr.com, FIVERR.com, if you just want a quick job like that graphic they're doing, you can get that done on Fiverr. Now, what I did with this, I cheated. How can I show you this? Right. I originally wrote this as text, so you can see this bit here. It says we're constantly being told by the government, the television, blah 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 blah. That section there, which I've just selected in blue, that is text on the page. And the bit below it here, where it says it's not that simple, is it? And further down, that's all text on the page. And I wanted to have this list of things here where it says, so why else might you want to quit smoking? Bad breath, disgusting teeth, stained hands and nails. I wanted all of that there, and I wanted to be able to have this image which would say, read this, next to it. And the problem is I couldn't work out a way to have this text here and have this image. So what I did was cheated, and I made this into an entire image. I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to load the image in a new page. This entire section here is one image. So although it looks like text, you can't block and copy it. It's not. It's an image in its own right. See that? That's an entire image. And then just put that in the page. So this started off as just genuine text that you could copy, paste and edit. But then I realised I wanted to have this read this graphic, and the only way I could work out how to do it was this, and I just botched it together in Photoshop. But for the amount of time it would take him, I wouldn't have thought he'd wanted that much. But yeah, if you want something like that doing, just go to Fiverr.com, FIVERR.com. You show them your sales page, and they'll be able to work out how wide it needs to be, how high it needs to be, and then just tell them what you want it to look like, and they'll be able to do it for you. And it's, if you haven't guessed, it's $5. Oh, Donna's, there's no second S, so it's quick site, not sites. Yes, if you've got GIMP, you can do it in that. Just look up GIMP tutorials on the internet. I always think that's a dreadful name for a piece of computer graphic software, but yeah, it's like a free version of Photoshop. And I've never used it, but I know that it has most of the functions that Photoshop's got. Cool. Any other questions, folks? And otherwise, we'll start to wrap things up. It's like an end of an era, isn't it?
There'll still be stuff being added to the members area week by week.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got at least 12 months of traffic training coming your way. I've mapped it all out in a mind map. And, well, about the first 20 modules are made, so we're about halfway there, and I'll make the others over the next couple of months or so. But you'll be getting them week by week. I'm going to drip feed them in, rather than just dumping 100 hours of video, 50 hours of video training on you, and expecting you, and here, have this. I figure if I give you one a week, that means every week you'll learn a new traffic method that gives you a week to try and implement it, make something of it, and then add the next one into the mix, and then add the next one into the mix. And there'll be some cool ninja stuff added in as well, like how to actually outsource all of that for $300 or $400 a month to somebody in the Philippines, who'll work really hard 40 hours a week for you, so that when you're actually making money from this, I don't recommend you do it right away, but when you're actually making money from this, you don't have to do any of the manual traffic driving at all. So I'm going to include all of that stuff in there as well. How you can outsource your entire traffic department for next to no money without exploiting people. Cool. Well, that looks like there are no... Oh, there we go. If you could just talk me through the adding pages on your tutorial, I'd appreciate it. Don't worry, I'll make sure that that's in the video. When do you think the list building video will be up? Realistically, it's going to be next week because there's a lot of stuff to cover. I need to talk about getting the autoresponder software, setting that up, making a list in that, setting up the web form, how to put the web form, make it look right, and how to put it on the page. It's going to take me, on the basis that I want to get the members area finished first. You're going to be talking next week, but it'll be early next week, so it'll be like a week today probably. I'll probably get most of it done over the weekend. I'll keep following and we'll hear from you soon. Thanks Rob, and thank you Alex. Thanks Arjan, big smiley face.
No worries.
Cool. I am really chuffed. Cool. So is everyone happy if I contact them over the next couple of weeks and get a testimonial from just a couple of paragraphs? Would be great to say what you've learned, what you've enjoyed, you know, whether it was better than what you expected, as good as what you anticipated, etc.
Cool. Cheers, guys and girls.
Cool.
That is appreciated.
Awesome. All right then, dudes. Well, we're going to wrap up, and dudettes. We've got Donna here. We're going to wrap up this. We're going to wrap up this call. We did have Sue here briefly as well before the webinar started, but she's not actually been here for the webinars themselves. She's bought it, and I don't think she's been on any webinars yet. So hopefully she's actually looking at the recordings. Cool. All right then, folks. Let's wrap up this webinar. Thank you so much for joining me on this, well, us on this webinar, and also on the program in general. It's been a pleasure to coach you over the past kind of 9 modules, and of course into the future as well, as we continue to add to the members area. So thank you for. And
as soon as you get your sites up, send us a link to, you know, via Facebook to have a nosy at. I really would genuinely be interested in taking a look and seeing, you know, what you come up with. For 2 reasons. A, because I genuinely would like to see it and be able to sit there and go, cool, they've done something. For the first step, it's the start of a journey that momentum will grow as you keep, you know, doing another niche area or another niche area. And, you know, I'm not saying that the first niche area that you do is going to be the one that makes you loads of money. You might fall lucky, some people do. It might be the 3rd or 4th one that makes you the real money, but you'll still be getting a little bit, even if, you know what I mean? Every one will bring you money, but one of them will be your real golden egg. But you'll only ever find that golden egg if you keep taking action. And bear in mind that real key point of Rob saying, don't get overly fixated on perfection. You know, in a lot of areas of life, quality is better than quantity. And indeed, it is in terms of the nature of your product. It's got to live up to what you say it will. But the more sites you've got, so kind of it's the reverse, quantity, as long as they fulfill all the basic criteria that Rob's taught, then the more you've got in different niches, the more chance you've got of making a real sizable, life-changing amount of money and attracting true freedom in your life, where you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want, with whoever you want, without incurring a penny in debt. And in fact, actually in a manner where you probably, while you're asleep and having fun and doing those things, you've actually earned more money without any physical effort than you've managed to spend in that time. That's what this program's all about. Freedom. It's not just about making money.
Just to sum that up, I had a conversation with my next door neighbour earlier, who I haven't seen for like a week or so, and I said I haven't seen you for ages. Anyway, we were talking. He was talking about neighbourhood gossip. Apparently, he works from home as well, but nobody really knows what he does or anything. He kind of keeps himself to himself, as do I. And there's one of the neighbours works for the fraud department, and. And basically, because I keep going on holiday and think, like, I was in Florida 2 weeks ago, I was in Cape Verde in Africa just before that, like next week, well, 2 weeks time off to New York. So I keep going off on these holidays, and this bloke never sees me leave the house or go to work. So and it's the same with our next door neighbour. You know, he's building a house in France, and again, he's sort of, how are you doing all of it? So anyway, apparently he's been asking the neighbours, what does he even do? I mean, how's he doing all this? It's quite funny. So, like, genuinely, people don't understand how I can afford to do what I can afford to do, because I don't appear to do anything. So, and that's the cool thing, because I only do the shows I want to do now. People are saying, "Oh, you're busy, you're doing loads of shows," and I go, "No, not really, just doing the shows I want to do," and that's pretty much it. And nobody really can understand that. So the freedom it gives you is truly unbelievable. And that's the easiest way I can sum it up, is that you can make so much money, people will be truly suspicious as to how you could be doing it. So that's cool. All right then, folks. Let's wrap up this call then, and get stuff moving. Yeah, cool. All right then, folks. You have our contact details. We'll be adding stuff into the members area over the next day or two and getting it all wrapped up and finished, because we're preparing to launch this to the general public in a few weeks' time. I know that Jonathan is in California next week. I'm in New York the week after that. And then we'll deal with it just when we get back. So, good night.
There are literally just 2 tickets left for this. So if anyone's listening in America who fancies a trip to California, I'm there on the 19th, 20th and 21st of October, this very 2012, with my totally unique live and intensive hypnosis training. So yeah, contact me on Facebook or email me if you want one of the last. There are literally only 2 tickets left. I just thought I'd mention that.
Cool. All right then, folks. Apart from that, we'll wrap up this call, and we'll speak to you all very, very soon. So from me, Robert Temple, good night.
And from me, Jonathan Roy, aka Alex, good night, guys and girls.
Good night, folks.